Do you know that feeling when you are just constantly doubting everything? We're like, should I stay in this job? Should I stay with this person? What's my purpose? Like the majority of my life, I was in this existential crisis where I thought, maybe I should be somewhere else. Maybe I should be doing something else. Maybe I should be with someone else. And it created so much stress in the background when you're never fully sure of what you're doing. In this video, I want to give you some tools to actually access and explore your inner wisdom, because a part of you knows exactly what to do. A part of you knows exactly what you want. It's just about us being able to access that and also listen to it. I wish I had these tools years ago. It would have saved me so much time doing things that I don't like or being with people that were toxic for me. So I hope this is gonna save you a lot of time and that you can access your inner wisdom straight away. So I always find it important to mention why things are the way they are and why it might be difficult for you to access your inner wisdom or to know what you want. Is because maybe in the past it wasn't allowed. When you expressed your desire or expressed your wishes or you set boundaries, maybe you were met with a lot of resistance or judgment. So you automatically start adjusting your truth to your environment because you don't want that conflict, because that just feels like a threat, like death to you as a child. It's important to realize that, because if you want to start following your truth and access your wisdom, just know that it might trigger some resistance, because a part of you is like, oh no, don't go there. It's unsafe to follow your truth. And I think that's also why it's difficult for many of us to actually hear that truth, because it's hidden. Part of us is like, I know what I want, but no, we're not gonna go there because that is just gonna cause chaos and pain, and so I'd rather adjust. Even before diving into this, it's important to realize that you need a level of safety within yourself to access your wisdom, to even hear it. And then also, once you hear it, that you need a lot of safety to follow it, to manifest or to follow that truth, because that might also trigger some fear of like, oh no, I cannot leave this job, or no, I cannot leave this person. So just be kind with yourself on this journey. Go with a lot of compassion, and just hearing the things doesn't mean you have to follow them. I'm gonna walk you through a process where I first talk about 3 ways to access your wisdom, then how to actually receive this wisdom, and then finally how to follow that wisdom. Okay, so first, how to access this wisdom. Like I said, safety. Always, the most important is that you feel comfortable and you feel relaxed to go places within yourself. That might mean making your house really private. It might also mean that you want to rather be in the forest or be a place where you feel comfortable and where you feel relaxed. What can also really help with creating safety internally is to use the mantra, I am safe, I am safe, I'm safe. To let yourself know, I'm safe to go here, it's okay. It's okay for me to listen to myself. So that's the first layer, create safety. The second layer is to get into the body, to get out of the mind. Like you probably know, you cannot figure out these deep emotional life decisions with your mind. Like you can logically approach it, you can make your pros and cons lists, but this often is really a matter of your body wisdom, because in your body you have that deep truth about what's right for you and what you deeply desire as a human being. So you want to find ways to actually access the body and arrive in the body. And you can do this through like mindfulness or breath work or movement. I always guide my students through like shaking or dancing. It can also help you to go for a big walk, to do some exercise or to be outside. So that's the next step. After you created safety, get into the body in your own way, whatever helps you to become embodied. The third step in accessing your wisdom is to choose an access point. There's multiple parts in the body where we can sort of connect and communicate with our inner wisdom. And it's about figuring out which one feels most alive for you, which one feels most sort of active and awake for you. The 3 options I'll give for you today is first your heart wisdom, your womb wisdom, and your yoni wisdom. So your heart and your womb are these spaces, these very big spaces, almost like an inner elder kind of energy, this part of you that is so chilled, that doesn't really care about what's going on. It's in the background, it's not, I'm not talking about the heart that is like breaking and crying and angry. Like there's a deeper layer behind that, which some people call the spiritual heart. The same goes for the womb. It's this wisdom that is deep and obvious and calm. That's really important here. Both the heart and the womb wisdom are really quiet. Like we are so used to emotions that are so loud and so aggressive and just screaming for our attention. But your heart's wisdom is more like a whisper. It's like quietly, like this way. And your womb is the same. If you connect deeply with that womb space and you ask a question like, what should I do? Then the answer will be very soft. So that's important to know as you do this. It's not like, this is what you're gonna do. Wisdom doesn't communicate like that. It's like this. Listen to that. Listen for the whispers. And the third wisdom portal I mentioned is your yoni. So it's slightly different. It's not as, at least for me and for my students, it doesn't feel as old and grandma-ish. It feels more playful and it feels more joyous and childlike. And so the yoni wisdom you can access to get answers in what do I desire. That's the answer that you'll find in your yoni, because that's your sexual center, and your yoni knows exactly what she wants. If you like this video, then please subscribe to this channel. I'll be posting weekly videos about women's empowerment, self-growth, and sensuality. So you can ask, like, Yoni, what should we do with this? Or something, whatever, how you want to say it. And then you'll feel like this desire of like, oh, I would like to do this, or I would like to do it this way, or I'd like to connect with that person instead of this person. So also include your yoni, or try out your yoni to see if there's maybe some very clear answers there. So those 3 steps will set you up to start communicating with. Beans! So now that you've set the stage to access your wisdom, it's time to actually start communicating with it and asking questions and see what comes up. So there's 2 ways in which I normally do that and which I found easiest, and that is either by placing a hand on that part of the body that you're communicating with and having this sort of internal dialogue where you ask questions and you wait for the answer to pop up. The other way is to use journaling. So you connect with that part of your body, you ask that question, and then it's almost as if you use your hand to give this part of your body a voice. So you're not filtering, you're not judging what comes up. You let it almost free flow, the writing. Use a conversational style here. I found, for me and for all my students, that's been the easiest because you create some sort of distance. Like you as a human, the little human being figuring it out, and these big, wise portals in your body almost as separate entities that you can communicate with. The answers might come either in words, so just sentences or separate words, but you can also expect them to come in visual form, so like images or colors or maybe even sounds or smells, feelings in the body. I found in my journey that a yes often feels like this gentle expansion, like a relaxation, and no feels like a contraction. This is also a really nice thing to do once in a while, to check in with yourself, like, am I where I am supposed to be, or is there part of me that is sort of signaling, no, you should be somewhere else, you should be doing something else. This automatically cancels out that sort of constantly lingering existential crisis of like, maybe I should be doing something else with my life. But I am able to sink into my heart and to and to really feel, is this the right place for me? And every time I've done that, the answer is yes. And it's this soft whisper, it's like a smile, like this gentle knowing. And then I'm like, okay. Like, obviously I could be doing a million other things, especially as like a multi-passionate, talented person. It can feel like, shit, if I choose this, I exclude all of that. And that is quite scary to do. So that's why this heart connection is so important. So important. That will help you so much with this existential dread or this existential rush of like, fuck, but I'm almost this age and other people my age are doing this, and what if I'm wasting my life? Like, all of those terrible feelings of anxiety and of existential stress. They will all soften if you learn to sink into your heart and ask, am I at the right place? Listen for the answer. And then maybe you want to ask your heart or another part of your being, what do I really want to be doing actually? That's the second part of actually receiving your wisdom, right? And like I said in the beginning, to follow this, that's a whole nother thing. Because you can be like, oh shit, I feel in my heart that I don't want to be with this person. There's actually a no. But now what? Because to leave that person can be so terrifying. Because you're like, what if it's the wrong choice? What if I end up alone? What if there's nobody else out there? I think it's important to acknowledge that unsafety and to find a way to create safety for yourself before you follow your answers. For example, in your relationship, you feel, okay, I need to end it. Really spend some time creating deep self-connection, deep self-worth, self-love, this big foundation of self-independent self-love, so that letting go doesn't feel like death or like life-threatening loneliness, because you're like, I got myself. Basically what I'm saying, if you hear an answer that is calling you to change your life, take it slow and do it with a lot of self-compassion and self-holding. Okay, that was it for today's video. I hope that you feel inspired and excited to access your wisdom, that you feel capable now of how to get that started. And I hope that it's going to give you all these beautiful new answers so that you can really start designing your life according to your deep, authentic longing. Okay, have a beautiful day and I'll see you soon.